Hi everyone, in this video I'm looking at the sharpness and general ability of the Tamron 28-75mm lens when put onto a full frame body such as the Nikon D700. I've taken a whole bunch of photos at the different lengths and also at its different apertures. I shot with the D700 against this wall to give you an idea of where we can look at the corner sharpness, the central sharpness, the bokeh, but also curvature as well. And so first of all, we're looking at this. It's at 28mm f2.8, and straight off the board you can see there's a bit of vignetting around the corners, but also what really looks most obvious is that there is some distortion going on. Now you've got two different types of distortion. You've got barrel distortion and pin cushion distortion, and as you can see it looks like the central bricks are coming towards us and it's going back the way, and that is barrel distortion, I think, and pin cushion, it kind of goes in the way. You usually get barrel distortion when it's at its widest angle and pin cushion when it's at its most telephoto angle. I think it's either that or the other way. It usually is the same with all lenses. And the way to look at that mostly is, see down here, is how you've got a lot of brick there, then you've just got a little bit of brick there, and then it comes back to being a bit more brick there. Okay, and in terms of sharpness, up at the corners over here at f2.8, remember this is full frame, so when you're on your crop sensor you're probably coming to around about this area here. But back here you can tell it's a little bit blurry. It is not perfect in any way whatsoever. But again, this is a lens which I got for second hand for under £250. And it's an f2.8 and it's 28-70, so it's a brilliant lens. So at this one you definitely aren't going to be getting many prizes for corner sharpness or even edge sharpness at all here. It's definitely got a bit blurry. It looks like it's got a bit of chromatic aberration, and up in this corner very dark over here. But if we go to the next one, which should have been at f4, yes, f4, I would say there's, if you look at the corners, definite increase in brightness in the corner. If we go look at the sharpness up here, I'd say it's got better. It's still not perfect in any way, but it's definitely a good bit better compared to before, where it was like 2.8, then f4. I'd say definitely the f4, so looking a good bit sharper there. And then if we go to f5.6, again, the corners have got brighter again, so it looks like the vignetting is really getting a lot less, but the distortion is still there. So changing the aperture is not changing the distortion you're getting in the lens whatsoever, because that is really to do with where the bits of glass are rather than the aperture. And so yeah, if we go through the three apertures again, so there, there, and there, so quite a lot of vignetting and a big loss of sharpness. But in the center, let's say we look right here, at f2.8, I would say that's looking pretty good. If we go to f4, that's looking even sharper. And if we go to f5.6, it's hard to tell the difference. Okay, at 2.8 there's a slight difference, but very little. So in terms of portraits, if you've got somebody right in the center, it's going to be sharp as anything in the middle. Now, the next ones that we went on to, I changed the length, so now I'm at 75mm, which is its longest length. And oh yeah, you can really see the pin cushion effect here. Look at the bricks down at the bottom here, how you've got a little bit of brick there, you've got much more there, and it's almost going completely off at the other end. So if we just quickly, that's at 28, then that's at 70. Notice how the bottom is now curving down the way, and that's, I'm sure that that is pin cushion that way. It's like you've stuck all your pins in the middle and it's pushing it down in the middle. But okay, so at f2.8 at 75mm, central sharpness I'd say is looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. At f4 it's definitely a heck of a lot sharper though. So I would say at 2.8 it's good, at f4 it's excellent. f5.6 I can't tell any difference in center sharpness. In corner sharpness, let's go back to the first one. f2.8, well first of all you can see the brightness difference. Look at the corner brightness, there, there and there. So it seems like between f4 Oh no, we went up to f8. We went up to so f5.6 and f4. There's still an increase in brightness in the corner exposures, and so the vignetting is pretty strong at f2.8 again. So let's say we look at the sharpness over there. So that's at f2.8. That's at f4. This one is at f5.6, and this one is at, okay, between f8 and f5.6 I can't see a difference. If anything, 5.8 looks a little bit better, or 5.6 looks a little bit better. f4, that looks pretty good as well, and f2.8, it's not bad actually, that's pretty good. Yeah, so it seems like when you've got this lens at its full telephoto of 75mm, I would say the edges are pretty sharp throughout the aperture range. But what you are getting is a strong vignetting, and you are also getting a strong pin cushioning effect. So that is the Tokina, that is the Tamron 28-75mm f2.8 lens on a full frame camera, the Nikon D700. So there you go, hope that helps. Cheers, bye bye.